whole pandemic and continues to be so, is Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman. We've reestablished our connection. Lieutenant Governor, I was trying to get into this red, yellow, green reopening process, and so many people got upset when one part of the state of the Commonwealth went to yellow from red. But there really isn't a lot of difference between red and yellow, is there?
No, it's mostly a distinction without much difference, to be honest. And this idea that it's back to normal when you move back to yellow, that's just not the case. Wearing a mask is going to be mandatory. Social distancing is going to be mandatory. Aggressive mitigation is going to, this is the new normal, regardless of what color our counties ultimately end up in. And, we can't forget this because the virus doesn't respond to your politics. It doesn't respond to, a county border. It responds to how easily you allow it to be transmitted.
And that's why we have to pay such close attention to the stats. What is your advice to the public, especially those who really want the Commonwealth reopened or have reopened against the governor's order?
I could just say I agree. I understand where you're coming from. People are stir crazy. Lives have been put on hold. We've been at home now for almost 2 months. I get it. The round-the-clock diner is two miles from where I grew up. I've eaten there many times, but I wouldn't eat there now in the middle of a pandemic. It's about realizing that now's not the time for that. And if you rush ahead, you can't have a healthy economy with a sick population. That's the bottom line. And these decisions are based in science, and no one's playing politics on this end. Of the 37 counties that are either in yellow or will transition to yellow, 35 of them are Republican-controlled counties. Only 2 are Democratically controlled. These decisions are based strictly on science and what the virus is telling us. The virus makes the timeline. Well, everything else is. I'm sorry.
Well, I just wanted to beg to differ with you that, nobody's politicizing this. It seems like over the last week or two, it's become sort of a red and blue issue.
Oh, no, people are politicizing it, but the governor and I certainly aren't politicizing it. This idea, and the president now has tweeted that something about freedom. It's like right now we have to contend with the virus, not only as a nation, but right here in Pennsylvania. And there are parts of the state where the virus thankfully hasn't hit as hard. And I think that's a testament to the aggressive stay-at-home orders that the governor instituted. And in that case, those states are able to reopen back to yellow phase. But again, yellow is still cautious. Yellow is still aggressive mitigation. Yellow is still telecommuting when it's available. Yellow is still face masks. And
it's still no haircuts, no stylists open or nail shops. Things like that. I think no eat-in dining. That's not even allowed in the yellow sections.
No eat-in dining or anything. Yeah, it's a step towards normal, but nobody knows what normal looks like, and certainly nobody knows when we'll be back to normal. But right now, it's a way to acknowledge that we have been able to flatten the curve, and especially in certain parts of the state, and we are able to kind of ease back in. Again, striking that balance, Rob, between lives and livelihood is ultimately what the governor's goal is. And that's a tricky balance. And this idea that the governor or anybody wants to shut Pennsylvania down is ludicrous. The virus has shut Pennsylvania down. And the virus doesn't want Pennsylvania to shut down because that's how it spreads. People that are respecting the social distancing and what's necessary to control this virus are as effective as killing this virus as a Clorox wipe. And we've done that in certain parts of the state. And we need to continue and not give up the fight in these other places that are in transition. Like your news report mentioned, York is getting closer and closer to that key metric. The closer you are, you can transition into yellow, but we can't give up the fight.
All right, Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman, thanks. I think when we return to normal, it's going to be a new normal. Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman, my guest. Thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Be safe, stay healthy. It's currently Stroke Awareness Month. When we return, find out how you can keep yourself safe in this week's Sinclair Cares.